Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Melinda and this is Eric, my husband.
And you're watching E&M Guns and More. So next, Congress decides to enact the draft again. So it passed the House. It's on its way to the Senate. They're looking to enact the draft again to fulfill their military requirements. Why?
Martha, good morning. The Senate version of the National Defense Authorization Act, which sets out military and national security priorities, would require women to register for selective service. Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley is not a fan, right?
Joe Biden's Ukraine war, and this is truly what we were told was the Ukraine war was we can't let the communists, we can't let them squash Ukraine and take away democratic government. Guys, Lindsey Graham goes on Face the Nation and says, we can't give Russia and China all those minerals.
They're sitting on $10 to $12 trillion of critical minerals in Ukraine. They could be the richest country in all of Europe. I don't want to give that money and those assets to Putin to share with China. If we help Ukraine now, they can become the best business partner we ever dreamed of. That $10 to $12 trillion of critical mineral assets could be used by Ukraine and the West.
Why don't you just be honest? It's about gas.
It is.
Ukraine has the largest coal deposits in Europe, which can fulfill the country's needs for even the next several hundred years. Yet it is natural gas that is now the apple of EU policymakers' eyes. After all, it is natural gas that constitutes a significant motive in Germany's reluctance to react more sharply towards the Kremlin. Meanwhile, excluding Russian deposits in Asia, Ukraine has the second largest gas reserves in Europe, second only to Norwegian deposits. Importantly,
just like it was in 1953 when we helped Iran. So Iran, we were over oil contracts. We helped them defeat Russia. We also gave them nuclear technology to get their reactors going, all for oil contracts. And in the 80s, well, early 70s, their Shah basically breached that contract and screwed the U.S., so the U.S. cut ties. So all you new folks born after 1980 only realize the United States is not friends with Iran. But before then, we were. And during the oil embargo of 1970s, we were friends with Iran, and that's where we were getting some of our oil from. So we outfitted them with military weapons and nuclear technology.
Basically helped them.
Yeah, we helped them because we wanted the oil.
Is that what the documents show is actually the importance of oil in the coup. The conventional wisdom is, oh, it was all the Cold War scare of communism. But here you see actually very occasionally when Eisenhower intervenes in a discussion, it's about a question of oil contracts and so on, and how nationalization would disrupt the whole international framework and would be a threat to U.S. interests, oil interests elsewhere.
That's the same thing that's going on in Ukraine, except for Putin has already laid out what he would draw with. He wants oil and gas. If Ukraine is not willing to give that up, then let them fight for it. We don't need to risk World War III for oil and gas. We have enough domestic oil and gas at home that Biden shut down the first executive order he did when he came into office. And the fact that this guy is dead even with Trump again tells me you guys, you're not thinking with a clear head. Stop thinking with emotions. Start looking at the facts, and you'll see how President Biden is not doing the right thing for our country.
No.
Not. And you got to ask yourself, why is a gun channel talking about Biden? Well, I'll give it to you straight. Biden has been on a warpath to get assault weapons bans, getting everybody becoming a dealer. He is just so bad for the Second Amendment that I don't even care if JFK Jr. gets in, as long as Biden is out. We don't need a anti-Second Amendment president taking money from Bloomberg and George Soros. Our dollar is so weak right now, and it's not going to be the only standard dollar. China and Russia and now the OPEC group are going to trade oil in the BRICS currency instead of just a U.S. standard dollar.
All the bricks they've been talking about.
So we're losing our ground and our strength, and Joe Biden is the main reason for that. You guys don't think Trump, he's a criminal, blah, blah, blah. You can say what you want about the guy. But he spoke about it with Oprah, and I put a video out on it. He's basically nailed what makes the U.S. strong
Exactly.
and wants to head back towards that. Well, even if you don't like Trump, JFK would be a better choice than
Exactly.
fucking Biden.
Anything but Biden. I'm sorry.
That guy's running our country in the ground, and it's disheartening to see that we're struggling as a nation
when you
to
go
see
anywhere, everything's high priced and
it. Gas, groceries,
homes,
financing, cars,
just everything. And stuff
all
you
that's
need.
went up during Biden's administration. And people are thinking he's good for the country. What crack are you guys smoking? Because give me some of that. Whatever green pill, blue pill, red pill you're taking that makes you think we're doing better than we were 4 years ago, give it over here. We want some of it.
I think we did better 4 years ago than we did now.
We definitely did better.
I've been asking a lot on the channel is, why are there so many fake job listings right now? Because you have these jobs reports that keep coming out month after month that look like, we've had more jobs than ever here in the U.S., but when you talk to people who actually want to or are trying to get a job, they can't get one. I made a whole video on this just a few days ago. If you didn't see it, go check it out. So these
Guys, I hope this video gives you some information. I hope you enjoy what you're seeing. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you growing the channel. You all have a great, blessed week. God bless you. Peace out.